Welcome back everyone. Today we're just going to talk about my top 5 lures for the Gold Coast Seaway. I know a lot of you might be thinking, what am I talking about the Seaway? I don't live there anymore. But I keep on getting asked questions online and emails sent to me about if I was fishing the Seaway now, looking for Tailor and Trevally and maybe some school Jew or Kingfish, what would I use? So that's the video. I've got in front of me here, guys, 5 lures. They're a little bit different than your usual stock standard ones, so they might pique your interest on what I'd use. What I'm going to do is just go through and explain which one I'd use for what species and tide, and you know, yada yada yada. So let's start it. We'll go back to just a normal casting slug, okay? And before you guys turn your nose up and run away, not yet. There's a few good lures here. This is not your usual metal one. This is a resin one. Samaki do these. There's probably a few different brands now, but this one's a Samaki. It's a 40 gram Samaki. It's in white. I love these lures for casting. I prefer these now over metal ones. They cast an absolute mile. Okay, they've just got a nice weight to them. They've got a nice action on them. You don't have to wind them super fast. You got to wind them quick, but don't have to really wear yourself out winding them too fast, like some of the slugs, metal slugs. And Trevally and Tailor love them. They really do, even mackerel. And you do get mackerel at times in the Seaway over summer. Not a lot, but they do come in occasionally. But if you just go to the Gold Coast Seaway chasing a few Trevally or Tailor for a feed and Trevally for fun, some good old resin lures. They're just a good lure to, to take down, to cast off the rocks or from the boat. But the only suggestion I would make with this, and this is pretty much going to go for all the lures I'm going to show. The Seaway works best when lure fishing when the Seaway is a bit rougher. You got some swell rolling through, you got white water rolling down the walls. That's when you want to fish the Seaway, guys. You don't want to go to fish the Seaway when it's nice and flat and blue and there's boats everywhere down around. That's just crap. You might get the odd bite and the odd fish, but not much. You really want to fish the Seaway when she's rough, there's white water and there's no boat traffic because they're all too scared to go out, there's too rough offshore. That's the best time to fish the Seaway. And always a running tide. Especially with lure fishing, like if you're fishing out off the North Wall in the deep hole, you run out tide chasing Jew and stuff. But usually when we're chasing Trevally, Tailor, school Jew, Kingfish, it's a running tide, guys. Okay? And your resin lures, that's one of my favourites because they cast really well and pretty much everyone eats them. Trevally and Tailor love these things. And you don't have to wind them super fast. Okay, so that one's a big one. The next one I'll go to is what a few guys use, but not everyone does. Is, guys, just go back to vibes. And what I'd use the vibes is when the water's slowed down at low tide or high tide. When the water slows down, there's not much run, and just work your way along the pipe. In the Seaway, you got the pipe and jig vibes. That's a good way to find a few school Jew for a bit of fun. Kingfish, Trevally, Tailor, even though you don't want Tailor on your rubber vibes, but they will eat them. Trevally, like I said, Kingfish and Jew. Just working along the pipe, just vibing. Vibes are a good way to do it. Not the cheapest things in the world, you don't want to hook the pipe too often and lose too many, but it is good fun and it does work well. But you just do it over a tide change when the tide slows. Okay? So vibes are another big one. A good one. And with vibes too, don't let me forget, nighttime, daytime and nighttime. Vibes work alright at night, especially on the pipe. School Jew, don't mind them. Okay, so don't be scared. Just because the sun's gone down, don't be scared. Still vibe. Okay, the next 3 are a little bit different. Alright, the next one, guys, is popper. This is not so extraordinary, but the popper itself. This is a killer lure popper. And you can see it's not a very big long one, but you can see the shape, how it goes from thin to quite fat. And on the front it's got a big pusher, a big cup, quite a big cup. And a friend and I used to use these quite a lot for a large Tailor along the North Wall. These things are really, really good for very big Tailor. And we're talking 3, 4, 5 kilo fish, and they are in the Seaway, believe me. But usually when you find those bigger Tailor, we use poppers like this. It's over the warmer months, not winter when all the school fish are about, over the warmer months. Okay, We use these along the north wall of the Seaway, running tide, late afternoon when it's really rough. Like when you get it's really rough offshore and the north wall is just white water, just white waves rolling down and there's white water. We used to go along and cast these right up hard onto the rocks. Wait till the water goes on the rocks, cast this onto the rocks, and as the water comes off the rocks, it'll bring the popper off right down to the edge, right down the very close to the edge. And then we just like blip, blip, blip and stop. And just at 5 to 10 feet from the rocks is the strike zone. And we used to hook some really big fish along there doing that, using these big poppers because you're fishing heavy white water. So these have got a lot of action to them and they push a lot of water and make a lot of noise, so the tailor see them and hear them in the white water. And just doing that over the warmer months in really rough weather. Be careful though, guys, seriously. Casting these hard up onto the rocks, wait for the water to go onto the rocks, cast on, let the water bring the popper off the rocks, right down to the edge, hard up against the rocks. And that's where the tailor cruising. They're cruising right up hard against that edge. And blip, 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 about 5 feet out, 5, 8, 10 feet, whatever. It wasn't far. And that's your fishing zone. Then after that, just wind these in fast and then cast again. And the big tailor we used to hook is good fun. So small poppers with big face that push a lot of water, make a lot of noise in the white water along the rocks. These things are really good for big tailor. So that one's a little bit different, but it works. It used to work an absolute treat. Okay, next couple we're going to go to. We're going to go this one. And no, we're not chasing flathead. This is a sluggo, and we're going to talk about a fish that these things have been catching for a long time, and well and truly before we started using them for big flathead on the flats. Over high water in the winter months, occasionally in the Seaway we get kingfish. Okay, if you're ever out there and you see some kingfish coming around, or even on like the North Wall or North Wave Break Island in the North Wall, it's close to the Seaway, right? You see kingfish, get yourself some sluggos. Cast your sluggos around the north wall of Wave Break or in the Seaway if you see them in the Seaway, and work them like you did with flathead. Like give them a rip and let them glide and kick off and yeah, look like a dying bait fish. These things for kingfish, yellowtail kingfish, are absolutely friggin' deadly. Okay. Tailor like them too, unfortunately, and that's a bit of a bugger because they're so soft that they bite the tails off. So don't cast them on the rocks because tailor will annihilate them. But just keep them on a rod ready to cast in case you see kingfish. They've got quite a bit of weight to them, so you can actually do a long cast. You don't have to get too close to the kingfish and spook them. And then work them like you used to on the flats. You just notice with this, there's no treble in the arse end. There's no, second hook. It's just a one big worm hook at the front. That's all you need for the kingies, because kingies will engulf these. They just engulf it. And that hook will hook them every time. Okay? So a sluggo is one I used to take out in the Seaway. It's something different, and it's always in a rod ready for casting. But just don't cast it anywhere, because tailor will bite the tail off. Wait till you actually see a kingfish. Then give these things a crack. Even around north, the Wave Break Island or somewhere. They're really good. Okay? Now, last but not least, last one. And this one's different. Okay. This is like a subsurface. I think it's a K10 or something like that. Yeah, it's a K10. And it's good to say it's a subsurface jerkbait, but it hasn't got a bib or can't say it, traditional bib on it. As you can see, it's just the nose is cut off. It's just on an angle, just a cut, this nose. These things, they look hideous. But shit, they work well for a lot of species and people don't use them. I don't know why. I do know why, because they look hideous when you look at them in the shop and you think, what the hell's that going to do? But these things with a cut off nose in the Seaway, Trevally and Tailor along the walls. Once again, when it's a bit rough and there's white water, cast this around. This is subsurface. It'll dive down and use it like a jerkbait. So when you twitch it, it'll pull down and it just zigzag under the water. It only goes a couple of feet under the surface, but it's got a really erratic action. It darts and dives, and the way the nose in acts like the bib, so it just pulls it down and jerks, and they've got heavy rattles in here. Trevally and Tailor go nuts over these things. So we used to use these, and I liked them for Trevally and Tailor along the walls. Okay, but I don't cast this one up onto the rocks. I just cast this one towards the rocks. Try and get as close as possible and work it back a few feet. It's mainly for Trevally. Tailor do smash it too. And the other thing is, these work really well on the flats for flathead. And I've never seen anyone use them, but they work alright. So these things, these are subsurface. They've got the funny cut off nose on it, you can see there. Do yourself a favour guys, go get one over the tackle shop. They're hideous looking, but shit they work well. They are a really good lure. And you know what I used to love doing with these things? Is when we were fishing the pipe at night time, like pitch black night time over a high water out there with friends. We've got live baits down on the pipe waiting for the tide to slack, and as the tide starts slacking off at night time around the pipe, the Trevally will come on. You'll see them busting up around the surface for it's about an hour over the high tide. They'll bust up around the pipe in the middle of the seaway. You got live baits down, get a small rod, put one of these on and twitch it along the surface at night time, and you'll catch Trevally. Anywhere from like little baby big eyes to 3-4 kilo GTs and bigger big eyes. They smash these things and it's good fun. While you're waiting for a livey to go for a dewy, as the tide slacks, cast this around subsurface and you'll catch a future Trevally and you have an absolute blast. They're just a good lure. Strange looking thing, but damn they work well. Anyway guys, that's it for another one. I was just answering a couple of questions. Some guys asked me about lures for the Seaway, Gold Coast Seaway. Even though I don't live there anymore, these are the type of lures I'd still use. They're times and tides I told you. Give them a crack. Go see if you can find some of these. You should be able to find most of these lures in tackle shops still. Take them to the Seaway, give them a crack guys, have some fun. And once again, if you enjoy what I'm doing, give this video a like, a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe as it does help the channel out. And I'll see you again next week for another video. Thanks guys.